Hey there, it's Vicki Howell here to show you how to play with double, triple, quadruple, you do you pull amounts of yarn overs to intentionally drop them and thus create these long stitches. So you can see here it can be done with any sort of length. This is for a scarf called the Hang 10 that I designed for Yarnyay. But I'm just going to show you one of the methods because it applies to all of them. So just for reference, this right here, you can see, is if you use a double yarn over, and this will make sense in a second. Let me do this in a better order. This is with a triple, this is quadruple, and this is if you yarn over 5 times. So after that, it gets a little hairy. I mean, you could go to infinity. There just won't be a lot of structure in your garment, but if you want that long stranded look, I mean, honestly, there's no rules. All right, so for this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to do a quadruple dropped yarn over. But again, you can apply this same method for any length of these, beginning with a double. If you do a regular, just one yarn over, that's just a knit stitch. Okay, so you're going to insert your needle as if to knit, and then you're going to yarn over for this 4 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't pull too tight because it'll make all of the loops really difficult to slide. So just, simmer down, not loose, but just don't go crazy tight. And then you're going to slide them all off as if to knit. All right, and then that's all you would do all the way across. So go ahead and do that, and I'll meet you for the next row. Okay, so I've knit my entire row using quadruple yarn overs. I wanted to note a couple things. I'm using circular needles just because I prefer them. You don't need them for this project. The only challenge when you're working with circulars, however, with this method is the stitches, the wraps can end up on the narrower part, like the connector from the needle to the cord or down to the cord, and that can tighten them up a little bit. So if possible, if you're using circulars too, try to keep those wraps on the actual needle part. This wouldn't work if you were making a really wide piece. And then you might consider, although it's a little counterintuitive, you might consider using straights or circulars that at least have a longer needle. Otherwise, you just have to be really conscious of making sure those wraps are loose. Okay, so we've worked our right side. And if I hadn't mentioned that, you do your wraps on the right side. But this is a garter stitch. At least I'm using this within a bed of garter stitch, so it probably doesn't actually matter. So on the next side, we're not increasing. I mean, right now we have, every stitch is now 4 stitches. We don't want that. What we're trying to do is create these long stitches. So you're going to knit the stitch just as you normally would, meaning only one wrap, and then draw it off, pulling all of those extra yarn overs off. So you're dropping them. So knit, pull the yarn overs off, dropping them. And as you can see, that creates these really long open stitches. This is a great way to add length fast, like for a scarf, or keep it kind of netted and airy for a summer piece, and just in general add a little interest to a knit piece. And that's all there is to it. From there on out, you would just continue knitting for whatever your stitch pattern was within this. If it's stockinette, or for me it's garter, until you're ready for your next drop stitch panel. All right, if you have any questions, please just post them in the comments section. You can always also email us at support@yarnyay, that's YARNYAY.com. All right, thanks a lot. Bye.